Thank you for joining us today for the launch of another exciting new outdoor parks and recreation project in the City of Windsor. Today, Mayor Drew Dilkens is joined by Ward 7 Councillor Jiwon Gill and James Chaco, the City of Windsor Senior Manager of Parks. In a moment, Mayor Dilkens will provide opening remarks, followed by a presentation and conversation with today's panelists. We will conclude with questions from the media. A reminder that participants must turn your own microphone and camera on and off using the Zoom buttons in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Panelists, please ensure that your camera is enabled for the entire session, but only turn your microphone on when speaking. Media members, please use the chat function in the Zoom screen to request a question. And once the presentation has concluded, media members will be called on to ask questions and your microphone will be enabled. Thank you for your attendance and participation today. I'll turn things over to Mayor Dilkens to start us off. Please go ahead, Your Worship.
Well, thanks very much, Dana. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And I think it's fair to say, as most Windsorites can appreciate, our public parks and our outdoor recreation spaces, they are our most popular municipal assets. And this past year has certainly highlighted how important these outdoor spaces are for our collective and individual health and well-being. Now, in the City of Windsor, we are proud to manage a wide network of more than 200 parks, over 2,500 acres of parkland, and more than 135 kilometers of hard surface trails that benefit residents across all 10 wards. Council has long recognized that outdoor recreation facilities and open spaces contribute to our collective well-being. We appreciate the vital role that modern park amenities and green spaces play in raising the quality of life for residents, but also improving the environmental health and safety and resiliency of cities like ours. These public amenities strengthen communities, both physically and economically, and they make neighborhoods more inviting and attractive places to live, to work, to play, and to invest. And in 2015, Council set a new 20-year vision for our parks and recreation assets. We adopted a master plan focused on encouraging people to rediscover our outdoors by providing a robust and accessible park and recreation experience for all to enjoy. And I'm pleased to say that many of the 50+ recommendations prioritized in this action plan have already been implemented. And if you drive through any neighborhood in Windsor, you can see our commitment to improving our parks and recreation in action. Our efforts over recent years have revitalized and in some cases completely transformed many of our city parks. Just look at Sandwichtown, where major upgrades have taken place or are ongoing in Patterson, Bridgeview, and McKee parks. In downtown Windsor, we invested $1 million to redesign Bruce Avenue Park, and we're in the process of renewing the Alton C. Parker Park. On the East End, we're building a new splash pad in Fontainebleau Park. And we also recently opened up a completely redeveloped Faro Riverside Miracle Park. We are continuously looking for new ways to meet the diverse recreation needs and the wants in our community. And you've heard me talk about our Windsor Works report before, and this strategy isn't just about diversifying our economy. Windsor Works is also about building on our natural strengths to leverage new opportunities to make our community the best choice for young professionals and working families. And that's why we're investing record amounts, $1.6 billion over the next decade to upgrade our public infrastructure. In fact, over $170 million will be spent this year alone across the city. In 2021, Council approved a record $17.5 million in the capital budget for parks and outdoor recreation improvements. Forest Glade Optimist Park is an integral space for the community, and that's why Council is investing more than $2.2 million towards this important local amenity. We're proud of these investments and the positive impacts that they will have for all of the residents. And from the day he was elected, Jiwon Gill has been advocating hard for new funds for Forest Glade Optimist Park, specifically in support of the growing pickleball community. And now I'll turn the floor over to Ward 7's Councillor Gill to speak about what these improvements mean for the residents of Forest Glade. Councillor Gill, the floor is yours.
Councillor, there you are.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor Dilkens. I will start by adding that I speak on behalf of the resident when I say appreciate the leadership you have shown in supporting the many improvements to our parks and recreation assets in Ward 7 and across the city of Windsor. I have been a proud resident of Forest Glade for 20 years. Here I found a welcoming and inclusive community to set down roots and raise my family. I love the Forest Glade is home to active and engaged residents. They are always looking for new ways to keep fit and enjoy the great outdoor close to home. Over the past few years, we have been fortunate. City Council has continued to make a record investment to upgrade our outdoor areas our parks are now more inviting and popular than ever. Green spaces and outdoor recreation facilities are essential 365 days a year. Over this past year, our parks and recreation amenities have helped us maintain our physical and mental well-being. Our trails, urban forest, riverfront have brought us relief from pressure of the pandemic. Parks are so important right now, so as they provide a safe option for the resident to get fresh air and stay active. That is why I am pleased that the City of Windsor is continued to fund more major improvements to Forest Glade Optimist Park. This 47-year-old park means a lot to us. It has become the heart of the Forest Glade community. It is certainly the biggest Ward 7 park. It started with an arena and community center. Over the years, it has grown. We have added things like basketball court, tennis courts, a softball diamond, and soccer field. We now have a multi-use trails, a playground, and a skate park. These additions were in direct response to the feedback they received from the residents. As Windsor's population grows, so does the need to provide these diverse and inclusive spaces, options, and services. It is helping us to meet the needs of current and future residents. That is why today I am so pleased to announce that an investment of $800,000 to build Windsor's first dedicated pickleball courts at the Forest Glade Optimist Park. This is a sport quickly growing in the popularity. I am so happy that we are able to deliver on the promise I made to residents to get these pickleball courts built. Pickleball players will no longer have to compete with the tennis player for court time. Also, we will upgrading the existing tennis courts. We are replacing the lighting around the courts, and we are improving drainage to help reduce flooding. This funding on $1.2 million in improvements that Council invested in Forest Glade Optimist Park from 2018 to 2020. This funding was to add 2 new basketball courts, a much anticipated new splash pad, and new fully accessible washroom that we hope to launch this summer, pending public health advice and weather cooperating. Council has also committed $450,000 to apply the final layer of asphalt in the parking lot. This means by the end of 2021, Council will have invested more than $2.2 million here. This raises the quality and type of offering at Forest Glade Optimist Park. This is what residents asked for, and you deserve it. Thank you.
Well, thanks very much, Councillor Gill. And now I'd like to welcome James Chaco, who's the Senior Manager of Parks, to provide details about the many investments the City of Windsor has made to improve Forest Glade Optimist Park. James, go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Your Worship, and good morning, everyone. And we have a nice slideshow presentation that we're going to go through that's going to detail some of the great improvements that we've recently seen in Forest Glade and the upcoming pickleball tennis court improvements. So right now, as Councillor Gill was saying, Forest Glade is a community park. It's the largest park in Forest Glade. It's extremely well used. It has a number of great recreational facilities and features, from the Twin Pad Arena, the community center, and the library. From a park standpoint, there is over 1 kilometer worth of existing trails. There's a skate park. There are 2 playgrounds. There are 3 limestone screening baseball diamonds and 2 clay diamonds. There are also 25 existing lights within the park, and these lights are in the process of being upgraded. And we are also able to add an additional 2 lights. So you'll see 27 new lights within Forest Glade Park. That is really going to help to showcase the ongoing existing conditions within the park. Dana, sorry. So as we saw, the purpose of this meeting going forward is we're going to share our information and ideas, and we'll discuss, as I said, the current conditions within the park and some of the upcoming park improvements. Specifically, why we're all here is to get information and feedback from the community about the wonderful pickleball and tennis court upgrades. Next slide, please, Dana. So as I was saying, Forest Glade is a community park, so it is one of our larger parks within the city and certainly within the Forest Glade area. Community parks are great hubs that bring together residents from all within not only Ward 7, but surrounding wards, and allow them to utilize many of the great amenities that are found within the park. Next slide, please. So a little bit of park history, and Councillor Gill had touched on this. Forest Glade was acquired from the city by the city in 1974. It's approximately 32 acres. It is a very large park that has undergone numerous improvements over the years. And we are at now the point where in the last several years, there's been a great commitment by City Council to invest in a number of projects. Next slide, please, Dana. So as I was saying, the existing conditions within the park, you can see that there are lots of great amenities. Recently, we have seen improvements to the sports courts, to the spray pad that has just recently been constructed and will be opening later this summer. The spray pad, actually, next slide, please, David. The spray pad that has just been constructed, and we are just waiting to open it a little bit later this summer as the washroom building is also constructed alongside it, will have 15 independent station. It is a sports theme splash pad, which ties in very nicely with all the great amenities within the park. It has room for up to 75 children to be playing at one time, and is in excess of 220 square meters. Next slide, please. So it's just a little slide and sort of the work that's gone on over the course of the last year, showcasing the development of the splash pad. Next slide. So in 2018, there was a beautiful new sports court that consists of two basketball courts and one multi-use sports court. So this was constructed immediately north of the community center, and this has seen lots of great play and is another wonderful outdoor recreation amenity that is new to Forest Glade within the last couple of years. Next slide, please. So another large improvement that certainly is well used by not only everybody who comes to use the park, but certainly by the arena, the community center, the library as well, was a complete reconstruction of the parking lot that took place in 2016 and 17. And upcoming later in 2021, we will see the final coat of asphalt completed. So that is a great amenity that helps to provide the ability for people to come and enjoy the park. Next slide, please. So the other large project going on this summer is the construction of a brand new washroom. So this will tie in nicely and will help to contain and service the splash pad. So the construction of the washroom is just going to get underway within the next coming weeks, should be completed within 90 days. And this washroom will include 2 fully accessible universal washrooms, as well as independent and separate men's and women's washrooms. So it's really a great amenity. It's going to be something along the lines of what the community has seen recently at Realtor Park or at Alexander or Jackson Park. So really a very nice added amenity to the park. Next slide, please. So basically where we're at going forward with the pickleball and tennis court improvements is we really would like to get your feedback to understand what sort of amenities you'd like to see. If you'd like to see additional shade structures, trees, benches, tables, additional lighting with the court. So lots of great information that we're looking to get back through the website and through the survey that's also found and being launched today. So next slide, please, Dana. So this is the proposed layout. So currently at Forest Glade, there are 9 tennis courts, all fully lit. So what we've received in a number of years is that the community would really like to see an improvement to the existing tennis courts, really see a high-end surface, something that would rival the recent project that the City of Windsor completed at Central Park. Also, we've received, as Councillor Gill was discussing, a lot of feedback and desire to see independent pickleball courts. So what we've been able to propose for this project would be something that we feel is a great compromise and that will provide courts to both user groups. Will be able to provide 6 high-end tennis courts, as well as by converting 3 of the existing 9 courts, we can fit 10 pickleball courts. And these will be standalone pickleball courts that will be able to service the growing demand of the pickleball community. And ultimately, we'll able to go from having existing 9 courts to now having a total of 16 courts at Forest Glade Park to help service the community. So we really think this is a great project, and we're really looking forward to hearing back all of the feedback from the public so that we can incorporate the feedback and make this really a great amenity that can be used by not only the residents within the surrounding area of Forest Glade Park, but as it is a community park, many people will travel from other areas within the city to use these amenities. So certainly something that we're looking forward to. And basically, as Dana's gone through, pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports. It is certainly something that is used by and played by members of all ages of the community, but certainly we see a very big uptake in sort of adults and older residents, and it's a great way for people to get out, enjoy the parks, and get some great recreational activities. Next slide. So basically a little bit of why you can see a pickleball court is a little smaller than a tennis court. So that's going to allow us to be able to fit, like I was saying, the 10 courts within the footprint of the 3 existing tennis courts. So really, ultimately, we're going to be able to provide greater amenities and allow for more people to be able to get out and use the wonderful park amenities. Next slide, please. So basically, where we're at now, there's a wonderful website up on the city's parks page that you can access through the City of Windsor website, and it's going to provide further information about what we're asking for and this proposed development. There's also this slide package is available there, and there's also a short survey that we'd very much like everybody to fill out. We'd like to get your feedback so we can make this a unique and great park amenity to the Forest Glade community, and something that we hope that will be very well received, and we certainly expect will be very well used by the public. I believe that's it. So thank you very much. And I'd certainly, like I was saying, we very much look forward to hearing from everybody and the residents, and we look forward to being able to move this project along later this year so that everybody will be able to use these great sports courts, if not towards the end of 2021, then certainly in 2022. So thank you very much. Mayor Dilkens.
Yeah, thanks very much, James. And certainly the new pickleball and upgraded tennis courts will be great additions to Forest Glade. And I really do hope we get lots of good suggestions from all of the residents on how to make these sports courts inviting and accessible to all. We hope to be able to open the new splash pad and accessible washrooms at Forest Glade early this summer if the weather cooperates, and as soon as construction wraps up, we'll let everyone know about that. And with that, I'd like to thank Councillor Gill and James Chacko for their presentations as we open the floor to the media for questions. Dana, back to you.
Thanks very much, Mayor Dilkens. Members of the media, please take the time now to either indicate in the Zoom chat if you'd like to pose a question, or use the raise hand function and you'll be called on then. No questions yet. All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you all for joining us today. This recorded Zoom will be available on the City of Windsor Facebook page for future reference. Thank you all and take care.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.